Yo. What is up? What is up? What is up? And welcome to the first ever live edition of the Sixers Breakroom. How's my music? Music too loud? How we feeling out there? If you're in the chat, say what's up. Welcome. First ever live stream. I don't really know how this is gonna go. I don't know how this is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is gonna be dope. I don't know if this is gonna be a flop. I don't know if people are not gonna pop out. I don't know if people are not gonna talk. But you know what I mean? I wanted to go live. I wanted to see if it was something people would be interested in, talking basketball live on here. I know people be going crazy in my comment section. You know what I'm saying? People be going crazy in the comment section and coming at my neck. So at least if I go live, I got a chance to defend myself in real time. You know what I'm saying? I get a chance to defend myself in real time. Music good. What's up, Raptors in 6? Unless the league intervenes. Oh, here we go. First comment. Listen, I'm going to get to my predictions. I'm going to do these predictions live, and y'all going to be able to hold me accountable. I got some thoughts. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not Raptors in 6. I got my predictions, and I got how many games. So listen, I put receipts on stuff. I put my name to stuff. I'm not always right, but I'm not afraid to put my name on something and be wrong. You know what I mean? Speaking of my name, we're going to get to that today because I'm just realizing, like, I do all these videos. I don't even think you guys know my name. I don't even know if I've ever said my name. Hey, bro, just wanted to stop by and say that Pistons video went hard, man. Thank you for doing it. Nobody outside of Detroit usually cares about us. Have a good day, G. I got a game to go catch. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate the love. Listen, I call it how I see it, man. I'm a Sixers fan. Obviously, this channel started as a Sixers, fan channel. But, you know, I got some people who I want to give shout-outs to throughout the course of this stream who told me I should kind of expand it, talk about some other teams, talk about more things. So, you know, listen, Cade Cunningham is nice, bro. Cade Cunningham is tough. He's going to be a superstar in this league. He's going to be a superstar in the league, I think. At least a star. And yes, there's a difference. And hey, we could talk about that on stream too. Listen, this is the first stream. I kind of want this to be like a get to know me in a way, but also talk NBA basketball and talk the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I listen. Mad comments on that video were like, yo, you're the first person who actually gave Detroit credit and didn't just bash the Sixers. And I'm like, yeah, like they outplayed us. Do you think James is ready? James Harden? Do I think James Harden is ready? He better be. He said today he was healthy, he was good, he was ready to go. So yeah, I do think James Harden is ready. Real quick, man, let's kind of intro this thing. Let's kind of just you know, let me get some stuff I gotta say. I gotta say some official stuff first. First of all, welcome to the Sixers Breakroom live. You know what I'm saying? It is for the first time. Y'all might be hearing this, man. It's your boy Logan. Yes, my name is Logan. Yes, like Wolverine. My dad was a comic book super fan. Last I talked to him, he said he had almost 30,000 comic books. That's not me. That's not hyperbole. He told me he had about 30,000. So when people are like, yo, Logan, like Wolverine, it's like, it's literally like Wolverine. Yes. You know, so now y'all can actually, y'all about to start coming for me even crazier in the comments. Talk about Logan, you don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, man, my name is Logan. I coach basketball. I coach high school basketball here in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Basketball needs New Jersey. Been coaching high school basketball for like 6 or 7 years now. Started coaching AAU basketball a couple years ago with my boy, just helping out. Now I'm coaching a 9th grade team. So I've been coaching for several years. I played in high school, could have played at the Division III level, decided to go to a big Division I school, not even to try to play, just because my friends were going kind of thing. Biggest mistake I ever made, shouldn't have done it. Transferred back to the same D3 school I would have played at to begin with, but there was an issue with my transcripts, didn't even get a chance to play. But yeah, so I played ball, I coach ball, I know basketball, man, and I don't think you have to, I'm not that guy that thinks you have to play to know. Like there's some people who are like, yo, you don't know what you're talking about if you didn't play. Like, I would never say that to anybody in the comment section. I think if you know hoops, you know hoops, whether you played or not. But that's just a little background on me. I want to give you guys a shout out because this channel is officially monetized. Yes, this channel, like, can we clap it up for you guys? Clap it up. Yes. Clap it up for the people who subscribed, liked the video, shared it with your friends or your family. I got monetized in like 34 days. I do a lot of talking with my hands, if you can't tell. But I got monetized in like 34 days, which is outrageous. So I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have memberships in the future. I do want to do some kind of like exclusive content for members. I don't really know what I want to do yet, which is why I haven't started my memberships yet. But look for that coming down the line, man. With the channel being monetized, I swear after I get through this, we're gonna start talking basketball. But with the channel being monetized, right, that means like I start getting ads and stuff playing on the channel. You guys can become members. You guys can super chat. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect necessarily anybody to throw any money my way, but yo, super appreciate it. You know, I love doing this. It is a grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that I'm trying to grow as big as I can. I hope my passion for basketball and coaching kind of comes through in these videos. So like I said, memberships coming soon. You could throw the super chat, all that stuff. But with that monetization also comes like the type of videos I'm going to be making. Like, I'm going to have to be putting more content out, like as far as my opinions go. Like the videos I do, the breakdowns I do, sometimes they get a little copyright, not copyright strike, but if you make YouTube videos, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like I can't always earn on all the videos I make. So anytime you guys can support in the live stream, anytime you guys can watch and support those like videos where I'm just talking on screen about my opinions on something, like that would mean a lot to me. I know you guys came for the breakdowns, and I'm gonna keep giving you those breakdowns no matter what. But just, you know, some of them I get paid for, some of them I won't get paid for, things like that. So any way you guys can support, I appreciate it. Now let's get to the hoops. Jacob said, do I think Harden is ready? Not only do I think James Harden is ready, I think we're going to see glimpses of the old James Harden. I think James Harden was keeping a little bit in the tank. I think James Harden was keeping a little bit in the tank for these upcoming playoff games. I don't know why my chat box isn't working on the screen. I'm not really sure why it's not working right now. Should be popping up on screen. I'm gonna try to get that figured out. But yeah, man, I think James Harden is gonna be ready to go. I think James Harden is gonna have a great postseason. It's not just because I'm a Sixers fan. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Sixers fan. Because truthfully, I don't think that the Sixers are gonna go to the finals. That might come as a surprise to some of you guys, but no, I don't think the Sixers are gonna go to the finals. I think the Sixers are going to make the Eastern Conference Finals. But again, we're going to talk about that when we do our predictions. But yeah, I think James Harden, I think that hamstring has been bothering him more than he says or has let on, and more than the coaching staff has let on. I think anybody who has watched the Sixers games can just tell he has no pop. Like, there's no explosion. There's no get to the basket. He still got the ball on the string, but when you can't go north and south, it doesn't really matter. He can only go south with that step back, and his shot hasn't been falling. I think that's also part of the lift on his jump shot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so like I said, expect more videos where I'm kind of giving my opinions and sharing what I think about different things, what I think about the playoff games and these players. You know, that way we can get that going, and I can make sure that at least that content's monetized, because some of the breakdowns don't get monetized. And then I might come on live from now and then and talk about these playoff series, especially when the Sixers play. Like, I want to go live after the Sixers games throughout the playoffs. Hopefully that's for several weeks and we don't get ousted by the Raptors. That would really suck. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 second, chat. What am I trying to do here? I gotta create I don't know why this chat box ain't working. I want the Sixers to go far in the playoffs, but I also want Doc fired. Don't think we get this ring with this coach. Yo, let's talk about Doc, man, because I feel a little bit differently about Doc Rivers. I feel like I am a little bit different on Doc Rivers than most people. I think that Doc Rivers is a good coach. I do. I'm not just saying that. I genuinely believe that Doc Rivers is a good coach. I think Doc Rivers is not a great coach. I don't think that Doc Rivers is a great. I shouldn't even say I don't think he's a great coach. I do think he's a great coach. I don't think he's a great X's and O's guy. I think Doc Rivers is the perfect guy when you need your team to buy in and you need your team to rally and you're trying to build that culture. I think Doc is a great culture builder. I think Doc is a great motivator. the issue that we have with Doc Rivers, I feel like, is late in games, we don't execute. And it's because late in games, we don't really do anything. Late in games, we do a lot of just isolation basketball. It's one or two guys touch the ball of possession. And it isn't even always just, like, lately it's been Harden and Embiid. But before we had Harden, it was Toby or Maxey. Like, you get one touch, you get pick and roll basketball, or throw it into the post, and everybody's just standing around and watching. Right? There's no action. There's no off-ball stuff going on. There's no reversals or anything like that to get the defense to have to shift and switch. It's just four guys standing around watching the one guy. I think that's where Doc Rivers struggles. And in the playoffs, when you need to go get a basket late in the game, it becomes very easy to defend when it's just, let's pack it in. Everybody overhelp because you're not worried about a kick out. They're going to dribble the air out of the ball until there's 7 seconds left, and then they're going to go try to get a bucket. I think Doc Rivers has been getting a lot of heat unnecessarily at times, but that's how I see it. He's not a top 10 coach in the NBA. I don't know if Doc Rivers is or isn't top 10 in the NBA, but this is what I have. This is my question for you. Do you need to be a top 10 coach in the NBA to win an NBA championship? Because I don't think so. I'm a coach. I've had this discussion with my brothers before about coaching. I think in the NBA, coaching matters, but it's not like you can't win a championship without a great coach. Everybody has been talking about how awful Frank Vogel is, and he might not get another job in the NBA. He just won a title 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that you need to have a top 10 coach to win a championship or to get to a championship. Let's get there first. Off topic, but why don't teams just attack Trae Young like they used to do Steph? I mean, Trae Young is a bucket, boy. Trae Young is tough. I think teams try to attack Trae Young. I think Trae Young is just tough, like physically tough and mentally tough. I think Trae Young is one of those guys, it don't matter how many times you knock him down, he's going to get up and he's going to get right. Plus, in the NBA, I mean, you can't be that physical anymore. Not that what guys used to do to Steph that long ago was that long ago, but it's hard to just rough a guy up. I mean, you saw last year in the playoffs with the Hawks and the Sixers, it seemed like anytime we tried to get physical with Trae Young, it was a foul. Matisse Thybulle was getting hit with ticky-tack stuff, Ben Simmons ticky-tack stuff. You know what I mean? Attack him on the other end, you're saying, like 1v1? I think teams try to go at him a little bit, but you need to have that guy too who can do it. You got to have a guy that can do that. Like if you and you can't really control who he's defending as well. Like you could try to put him in switches and things like that, but depending if they play good defense and guys can get through screens, and even if they have to switch, you have the help and stuff like that. And then you got to be going against a guy who can go get a bucket like that. Like the Hornets don't really have that guy. Like I love LaMelo Ball, but LaMelo Ball is not yet a guy that I think is going to go get right and go drop 30 on any given night when he needs to. Last year we lose against the Hawks because of Doc for the most part. I disagree with that. I think we lost that game. And listen, I'm a huge Ben Simmons fan. Let's get that out the way right now. I love me some Ben Simmons. We did not lose that game because of Doc Rivers. We lost that game because Ben Simmons couldn't hit free throws. That's why we lost that game. If Ben Simmons could just make free throws, we win that series. But we were up 2-1 in that series, and we were up 3-2 in that series. I don't think it's on Doc that we didn't close that out. Did he make the best decisions all the time? No, but again, at the end of the day, these players are playing. And we were in a position to win that game even at the end. You know what I'm saying? Even after the Ben Simmons infamous passing up a dunk, we were still in a position to win that game. We just didn't get it done. Guys didn't make plays when they had to make plays. Rotation could have been better. I'm not disputing that. The rotation absolutely could have been better. But I don't know that I'm prepared to just say it's because of that. But I also get why some people do think that. Like I ain't, which series do you think will be the most entertaining this year in round one? I think there's two series, and I think it's ironic. JK, let's stick to Sixers talk. No, yo, what up, MJ? Yo, we could, no. We're not just talking Sixers. We talking basketball in general. We could talk about more than just the Sixers, bro. Appreciate you stopping in, though. I think the two most entertaining series in round one, ironically enough, will be the Sixers Raptors, because the Raptors seem to have the Sixers number, and there's a ton of pressure on the Sixers, and the Warriors and the Nuggets. The Warriors and the Nuggets. I think it's time. If Jokic is, I think Jokic is top 5 in the NBA. I think Jokic is one of the most unique players in my lifetime, for sure. I think Jokic is a monster. I think Jokic is tough, top 5. But it's time for him to win a playoff series that maybe he shouldn't win if he's that guy. Like, we got to start holding him to a higher standard. Like, we got to start holding him to the standard we hold some of these other guys. If he's about to be the 2-time back-to-back MVP, it's time for him to go win a series that maybe they're not favored to win. And I know a lot of people are going to talk about how he doesn't have Murray and Porter, and I hear you. And that's why I wouldn't pick them to win that series. But when you're the 2-time MVP, that comes with a level of responsibility that you got to go and you got to elevate and you got to go do your thing. So I think the most exciting series in the West in round one will be Nuggets and Warriors. I think the most exciting series in the East is going to be the Raptors and the Sixers. Suns in 4. Yeah, the Suns will beat the Clippers in 4, probably 5. Gentlemen sweep. What do you think Embiid's career trajectory could be? Hall of Fame. I think at this rate, Embiid is looking like a Hall of Famer. I think if Embiid, because of how talented he is at that size, like, I don't think it'll be accurate, but I think Embiid's the kind of guy, he has a scoring title. If he goes and wins a championship or two in the next couple years, people are going to start talking like, is he the best big man ever? I don't think he is. But that's how media works nowadays. They're like my brother John. My brother John has a podcast. Shout out to John. Sometimes I'll be right. Get that on your podcast platforms. He be talking about how in the media, they're always looking for like the greatest of all time. It's like everything is the greatest of all time. Greatest play of all time. Greatest game of all time. Greatest block of all time. Greatest player. It's like they're always searching for the greatest of all time. I think if Embiid picks up a championship or two, and he's still got a career ahead of him, it's not like late in his career. Like, it's in the next couple. People are going to be asking, is Joel Embiid the best big of all time? And they're going to be talking about how because he has the size of Shaq, the footwork and shiftiness of Hakeem, and he has that mid-range jump shot. But me personally, I think his career trajectory is Hall of Fame player, hopefully not an underachiever. That's my only concern. He's got to get a championship or two. He's got to. Me as a Nuggets fan, wish you would win the Toronto matchup. I appreciate that, Vlad. I appreciate you, bro. I hope we win it too. Lord knows we need to. Jokic is overrated, man. He needs Jamal Murray to win anything. Look at the bubble. He lost to the Lakers with his stars. I don't think Jokic is overrated. I do think that I don't know, man. It's tricky. I don't think that he's overrated. I just don't think he should win MVP this year. A lot of people have been coming crazy. Man. Like that I'm hating on Jokic. Like, when did it become hate to say a guy should finish second or third in MVP voting? When does it become hate to say a guy is top 5 in the NBA? The same people that said I'm hating on Jokic, like, yo, I made a video about he might be the most unique player the NBA has ever seen. Jokic is solidified top 5 in the NBA. I just don't think he's MVP. I don't think he's overrated. I just think he's going to win the MVP this year, and I don't think he should. Jokic beat Utah and the Clippers. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't like to say Jokic beat anybody or Embiid beat anybody or this person beat anybody. Like, it's a team effort. Like I said, this playoff series, I think, will show a lot about Jokic. I really do. And fair or unfair. Celtics suck. That's my boy, Hank, man. That's my boy. Nobody go crazy on him. I agree with that, but I'd put the Celtics Nets in there too. Celtics looking for revenge after last year, and I think it's about to be an insane series. I don't, and I'm going to tell you why. I think the Nets aren't that good. I said it. I don't think the Nets are very good. I think they got two all-time level players, but I don't think they defend well enough. In the most recent video I had, that kind of flopped. In the most recent video I had, though, I talk about how if the Nets can defend like they did against Cleveland the other night, they'll be all right. But I don't think they can defend at that level. I don't. I feel like I missed somebody. Yo, I'm not even just saying this to say it, but like, yo, the only way to guarantee I'm going to read your thing is if it's a super chat, because I'm keeping up with everything now, but I can already see how this might get crazy once there are 50, 60, 70, 200 people in here. I'm going to do my best to read everything, though. But there's a certain, like, if you see it on the back end, there's a certain column for the super chat that I'll easily be able to see. But I'm gonna try to get everybody. How do you see Boston and Brooklyn going? I got Celtics in 6. I almost said 4 by accident. That'd have been crazy. Celtics in 6. I think that the Nets are gonna have. You're gonna have one game where KD goes and Kyrie go crazy. You'll have one game where one of them goes crazy, right? That'll be 2 wins, but I don't think they can defend the Celtics for a series. I don't think they can. And here's the crazy thing, right? This is what I feel like people don't look at it this way. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong in the chat. Let's say KD and Kyrie average 40 a night. Both of them. Let's say they both get 40 a night. Well, that's only 80 points. Can they score another 35 to 40 consistently with the other guys? I don't know that they can. And obviously them averaging 40 is outrageous. But if they both average 30, a game, which they could do, well, that's only 60 points. Are the other guys going to get you another 55 every night? I don't think so. So I think the Celtics are going to win that series in 6. Hank, you spelled the Knicks wrong. Facts. Clap it up for that. Clap it up for that. Phoenix plays. I saw you had something up top. What is the answer to Siakam in this series? Especially with him being surrounded by 40% catch and shoot 3-point shooters and Van Vliet, OG, Gary Trent Jr. Shout out to Gary Trent Jr. Duke. Yes, I'm a Duke fan. Let's get that out the way as well. Y'all getting to know me today. Listen, I think what you got to do to Siakam, I think I have a different perspective usually defensively. I think a lot of times it's like, yo, especially in the NBA, these guys are so good. They're gonna get theirs. Like Siakam's gonna get 25 a night in this series, 20 to 25 a night. He's gonna do what he does. You got to just limit the other guys, and you can't let everyone have a great night together, right? So you're like, how do you limit Siakam? I don't know that we can limit Siakam or shut him down specifically, but let's just make it tough on him. Let's throw Matisse at him some possessions. Let's throw Tobias Harris at him on some possessions, right? Let's double him. Let's get the ball out of his hands. But it's like you said, it's the Gary Trent Jr.'s, it's the Van Vliets. Those are the guys that we got. You can't let Van Vliet, get his 30, right? You can't let him get 25 or 30. Siakam get 25 to 30. Gary Trent Jr. get 25 to 30. OG get 15, 20. Precious get another. Like, you can't let all that happen. Yeah, that's kind of what I would do. Like, I would be like, yo, Siakam, if you're going to, okay, you can get your 25. We're going to make it tough for you. Like, I don't want you to have 25 on 15 shots. But if Siakam gets 25, 27 points, and it takes him 25 shots to do it, cool. But while that's happening, I'm not going to let Van Vliet shoot 9 of 12. I'm not going to let Gary Trent Jr. shoot 5 of 9 from the 3-point line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to make sure that we don't let the other guys kill us. Because if you look at it, that's how teams really win championships. Like, you need a guy, you need a superstar. And I'm going to talk about this too. Maybe this is a good time to talk about it. Like, you need a superstar to win a championship, period. If you look, like, I'm not a basketball historian, but I could probably go from 1980 till now, every single champion. And there might be 3, maybe 3 that did not have like a legit top 5 player at the time. And all of them had a top probably 50 of all time guy. If you don't have that, you can't win. Right? But the flip side of that is like, those stars are going to do what they do. It's mainly like you need those guys down the stretch. But when you look at like key games and series, it's always when the other guys step up and have a huge night. So like, guard Siakam, make him work for his 25, and then let's not get crushed by everybody else. And I'm not saying that that's right. Nick Nurse has the opposite philosophy. He'll load up on the stars and let the other role play. See, that's another way of looking at it, right? Like, yo, if you're gonna beat me, you know, that guy's got to beat me. And I would have, like, it's kind of like that's how I would have it for some, like, I would treat a OG like that. Like, yo, if OG's going to beat us, cool. Tap on the back, like, good job. For sure. But there's some other guys like Van Vliet. Like, I'm not going to just let Van Vliet go out there and try to beat us. You know what I'm saying? There's certain guys I would try to get the ball out of their hands. Siakam is just not quite on that level. Like, if you're going against, like, you know, if you're going against KD and Kyrie, yes, those guys, I'm going to say, yo, we're going to load up. We're going to make somebody else beat us. Those guys, I might do that. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, Siakam, it's like, I don't think Siakam's can get you 35 a game for a series. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he can, but I don't really feel like we need to load up on him like I would some other guys. 04 Pistons. Yeah, listen. Well, I mean, my history might be wrong. If somebody want to pull up Google, we can see if we can go down the list. OG's a 40% catch and shoot guy on volume. I wouldn't test it. He's one of the best 3-and-D guys in the league when healthy. Yeah, but it's like in the NBA, I heard it put best on a podcast. I think it was the JJ Redick podcast. You got to give something up. That's just the way it works. You have to give something up in the NBA. You can't shut everything down. So what would I rather do? Would I rather take my chance on OG, or would I rather take my chances on Siakam? Would I take my chances on OG, or would I take my chances on Fred VanVleet? I'm going to take my chances with OG having to beat us for a series. Not just one game, for 4. Right? But yeah, like if you go down the list, what you got 80. I think 80 is Lakers, right? 80 you got Lakers. They got Kareem and Magic. Young Magic, but still Kareem and Magic. I think 81 was Boston. Which you got Larry Bird. 82, or I always get them the Sixers championship flipped. I always get those flipped. But I'm not even gonna try to go year by year. But just in the 80s, you got Magic and Kareem. You got Larry, right, and McHale and them boys. You got Moses Malone and Dr. J with the Sixers. Towards the tail end of the 80s, you get the Pistons with Isaiah Thomas. Sixers is 83. Yeah, I always get that early 80s, the years I always get mixed up. So the 80s, all the championships won in the 80s are Magic and Kareem, Moses Malone, Larry Legend, and Isaiah and the Bad Boys. That's the 80s, right? And then you go to the 90s, obviously you got Jordan. Then you got Hakeem. Then you got Jordan again. Then you got Duncan. And then you go into Shaq and Kobe. Lakers. And then this is where you start to have teams that don't win with a superstar. You get 04 Pistons. But then you go back to Duncan. Right? Heat, you got D Wade and Shaq. And then you go back to Duncan again. And then you go back to Kobe again. And then you go to Dirk, who at the time, maybe not top 5, but again, one of an all-time great. And then you go LeBron and D Wade. And then you go Steph. Or in between that, you get the Spurs again, which young Kawhi, so that'll be another outlier. But then you get Steph, and then you get KD, and then you get LeBron, right? And then you get Giannis. So from 80 to 2022, from 1980 to 2022, you get 04 Pistons is definitely an outlier. You get 2011 Mavs, depending how you look on it, with Dirk. And then you get the 2015 or 2014 Spurs. Oh, and then Toronto, Kawhi, right? So 04 Pistons, 11 Mavs, 14 Spurs. That's it. Those are the only teams from 1980 till now. Those are like the only ones where you don't have an all-time, a top 5 in the league at the time, or top 10 in the league at the time. But even on those teams, the only exception that doesn't have an all-time top 50 guy is the Pistons. So if you want to drop it down to there, from 1980 to 2022, you only have one champion that doesn't have a top 50 all-time guy. Right, and that's why when I make these kind of, like, when I say I don't think the Suns are the favorite in the West. The Suns are the favorite out West. I'm saying that loud and clear for everybody in my comments. But I'm picking the Mavs to come out the West if Luka's healthy. If Luka doesn't come back healthy, the Suns are my pick. But when I look at the Suns, I don't see a guy that's top 5, top 10 legit right now. Like what's it called? Booker is on the cusp. Like, Booker is right there. Is he top 10? Isn't he top? You can make an argument for sure that he's top 10, and you can make an argument that he's not top 10. But they got Booker, who's in that 10 to 15 range. Chris Paul, who's probably still in that 15 to 20 range. And does that kind of I think that probably balances it out as far as them going to the finals. And like, yo, clap it up for Hank. Because Hank made that point that I was going to make. In the NBA, another one of those kind of unwritten rules is you got to take your bumps, you got to take your bruises, and they did that last year. And that's the one thing I'm concerned about if I'm picking the Mavs. The Mavs haven't had to take their bruises yet. And the way the NBA works, you usually got to take them L's before you can get them dubs. You usually have to take those L's before you can get them dubs. You can't skip steps in the NBA. The Heat lost to the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? The Warriors took some L's along the way. Lord knows Jordan took his L's along the way. Larry and Magic were beating up on each other. You know what I'm saying? Booker is all NBA. Yo, I got my all NBA teams done. However, I'm going to be on vacation next week in Jamaica. So because I'm not going to be able to drop videos out there, I got it recorded and ready to go. I'm going to drop it next week, but I do have my all NBA teams. How is Luka not the MVP? Who's his second or third star? I think Luka is in the top 5. Like, the way I would vote MVP would be 1 Embiid. 2 is a toss-up. Giannis, Jokic, I don't care. Whatever we want to put 2, you put 3. And then 4 would be Luka. And 5 would be Booker. Luka would be in my top 4 if I had an MVP ballot, which I don't. That team ready to win it now unless Steph is full healthy. The Warriors might do it again, unfortunately. I don't listen. If the Warriors get healthy, that's a dangerous team. Luka isn't playing game 1. Is that confirmed? I think third team all NBA is going to be interesting, especially the final forward spot, which whether it's Butler or Siakam from the early confirmed votes, a lot of them are voting Siakam for that final spot. You want me to give you a little tease? I'll give you one tease, Phoenix. I know you've been supporting for a while. I'll give you one tease. Siakam is on my third team, all NBA. Now, who does that leave out? You'll have to wait and see. But yes, he is on my third team all NBA. Tatum is better than Booker. Yo, yeah. And so some background. Booker, listen, I've been a Devin Booker fan for a while. My friends, like, yo, shout out to Hank, shout out to MJ. Those are like my real life friends. MJ isn't really as much of a basketball guy, but I'm sure Hank remembers me for years talking about how much I like Booker. Like, for years, the Suns were like, and I don't know if my boy Austin in the chat, but for years, I was like, yo, the Suns are my West Coast team. Like, the Suns are my Western Conference team. Like, I love Booker. I like Booker in college. I'm a big Booker guy. So this is no hate. This is no bias. But yeah, Tatum is better than Booker right now. We got to get over this as a society. Like, if you don't say someone's the best, you're hating. And it took me a while to do it too, y'all. Listen, I used to tell people that said LeBron wasn't better than Jordan, they're haters. You're hating. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know what? Everybody has their opinion. Everybody sees things differently. And if you say a guy is like people were telling me I was sleeping and no. Hold on. Time out. Somebody told me I was being disrespectful to Devin Booker. Somebody told me I was being disrespectful to Devin Booker because I said, can I pull up the comment, y'all? Time out. By the way, I don't know why my chat box ain't working on the screen. Y'all supposed to be able to see the chat on the screen right now. But let me see if I can. Hurst, what's good, my boy? Let me see if I can pull up the comment where somebody's like, yo, you being disrespectful. I said, how? Because I said that he was like, what? I put him in the top 10 to 15 area, and that's disrespect. Like, am I tripping? If, like, not whether or not you think he's top 10 or 15, but if you say a guy is top 10, 12 in the NBA, is that disrespectful? You're always disrespecting someone. Yo, son, chill, man. That ain't true, but I'd be disrespectful sometimes, like, for sure. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I'm never. You know what I'm saying? I can't even find it, bro. I can't even find it. I can't find it. Somebody was like, you being disrespectful to Devin Booker. And told me all the people they would take over him. Like, this is what's crazy to me, right? I was accused of being disrespectful, but this was pretty much the comment. I can't find it. The comment was pretty much, how can you put Devin Booker over people who have gone further than him in the playoffs? you're being it's disrespectful to take him over anybody who hasn't got to the Western Conference Finals. I'm like, yo, it's a team sport, number one. Number two, like, Luka hasn't been to the Western Conference Finals. Are you telling me that Devin Booker is better than Luka Doncic? Or like, what? I'm the disrespectful one? Come on, man. Booker mid is nutty. I just like defense. Yo, yeah, like Booker is a bucket. Booker is a bucket. In a playoff series, like if we're coming down the stretch, do I love how Booker gets his all the time as opposed to other guys, not just on the surface, but like I would rather have a Giannis who doesn't have as good of a jump shot, but I know he's gonna get to the basket, he's gonna get to the cup whenever he wants. He's gonna draw fouls, he's gonna put pressure on the defense. Jason Tatum is gonna get to the cup, he's gonna draw fouls, he can hit the jump shot too. I think a lot of times Devin Booker's game is reliant on mid-range jump shots, and I don't know that I want to rely on mid-range jump shots. Unless your mid-range jumper is Jordan, which is like a layup. You know what I'm saying? I'll send you a Google Doc of all the confirmed votes for MVP, all NBA, all defense. I think it'd be fun to look over them on stream. Yeah, do that. I don't know what we got to do for me to be able to pull it up. Yo, KD Vicious. Yo, shout out to my boy KD Vicious. I'm modding him up right now. He's supposed to be a moderator. Where he at? Add moderator. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm clicked on the right person. KD Vicious is now a moderator for your channel. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Who do you think the best player in the NBA right now, all bias aside? Joel Embiid. Yo, here's the thing, right? Listen, I'm probably biased, but I don't think I'm as biased as most people are. And I intentionally try not to be biased. Like sometimes I will put down guys like Embiid, or I might judge Embiid harder at times so I don't sound like I'm biased. But here is my list, top 5. Here's my top 5 in the NBA. I won't even put them in an order. I will tell you who I think the best player is because that was your question. But then I'm just going to give you the 5 guys that I think are the best. I think the best player in the league right now is Giannis. I think if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. I mean, this guy is a 2-time MVP. You know what I'm saying? What now? 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, or 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. Finals MVP. Got 50 in the closeout game. He's done nothing this year to make me think he's not still the best. Like this is Giannis's league right now. Giannis is the best player in the league. And then after that, the group of four, you got Giannis. And again, this is in no particular order. I will intentionally say Embiid last so people don't say I'm being biased. You got Giannis, you got KD, you got Jokic, you got Luka, and you got Joel Embiid. That's my top 5. So Giannis, Jokic, Luka, KD, Embiid. Giannis at the top. You can put the rest in any order you want. As a Celtics fan, I see them at most finals lost, but realistically, we're second round since we're versus the Bucks. Yeah. Sorry, Golden Fighter. Listen, if Robert Williams comes back healthy, y'all got a shot. But without Robert Williams, I think that's definitely an L against the Bucks. He was like, he's their anchor. He was the guy on the backside, pause, that protected the rim and did all that stuff. I think without Robert Williams, you guys are a completely different team. And in the breakdowns I did of the Celtics, you see how important he was offensively as well. Everybody talk about Robert Williams on defense, as they should, but his ability to get second opportunities on offensive rebounds or tipping the ball out, the way he would set off ball screens and read and be able to slip screens, and he was like reading his defender on screens and then diving to the basket, relocating on drives for little dump offs. Like he did a lot on both ends of the floor that I feel like gets slept on if you're not really looking for it. So yeah, I think the Celtics, before the Robert Williams injury, I think they were a dark horse to make it to the finals, especially the way they were playing. Without Robert Williams, I think they're losing to the Bucks. But I do think Celtics, and I see Addy. What up, Addy? I hope I'm saying that right. Maybe Addy. I think it's Addy. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I think the Celtics beat the Nets in 6. Scott says KD, Giannis, Tatum, Steph, and Jokic. Yeah, I can't put Steph and Tatum in my top 5 right now. I mean, Tatum is on the cusp. Like, Tatum is in that next group of 5. Steph is probably still in that next group of 5. But I think Steph is right on the outside. I think Tatum's right on the outside. But I ain't mad at it. Top 5 is spot on. Appreciate you. Yo, so me and my boy Hurst, that's one of my best friends. We talk basketball all the time, and I asked them their top 5. Him and Hank are in a group chat, and I was like, yo, what's your top 5? And at the same time, we sent it, and we had the same one. KD, Giannis, Luka, Jokic, and Embiid. Hank says, Steph not top 5? No. He's not. He's not top 5. Not right now. Like, he's right on the outside. I think he's right on the outside of that top 5. And that's why people, like, when people said I was being disrespectful not putting Booker in my top 5, right? Like, whether you agree or disagree with my top 5, right? Let's just take out the 5 that I said. Right? Like, KD, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, Luka. Let's put them aside. Look at, like, what's our next group of guys? Because you got Steph. You got Tatum. You got LeBron. Like, we can all agree those guys are ahead of Booker, I would think, right? Like, yo, there's some dogs, man. There's some dog. What about Ja Morant? Like, where's Ja Morant ranking right now? Where's Ja Morant right now? Is Ja Morant better than Devin Booker? I mean, I don't know that he is, but I think you can make an argument. You know what I'm saying? What about Kyrie? What do you guys do with Devin Booker and Kyrie? I don't know. I don't know what you do with those. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think people get so caught up in, like, yo, that's disrespectful. Like, is it? Like, what about Trae Young? Are we sure Devin Booker is just definitively better than Trae Young? Like, that's what I'm like. That's why when I say I think he's right in that next group, I think that's a good place for him. Because I think 5 through 10 or 6 through 10, I would probably say right on the outside of that top 5 is LeBron, Steph, Tatum. I think that's a legit. And Kawhi is not playing right now. I know he's hurt, so I'm not gonna put Kawhi on the list. See, it's tough. Like, I feel like after that 8, I think that 8 is like, yes. I think that's like most legit 8. Low key might take Book over Bron due to how bad Bron is on defense right now. Yo, even as bad as LeBron is on defense right now, he's still better than Booker. In my opinion. I ain't saying you wrong. I'm just saying in my opinion, because at the end of the day, I feel like if we were in the playoffs and we had one series, LeBron is going to defend. At his age, I don't think he can defend at a super high level every night. You know what I'm saying? And is that a knock on him? Sure, but that's why he's not top 5. That's why he's in that 6 to 10. People get confused with body of work versus now. I feel you. I don't know if you're saying that in the sense that Booker is not as high as people should say, or he should be higher than I'm saying. But I do agree with that. I think people do that. I think that especially happens with the guys who've been around for a while. Like a guy like Steph, I can see people just being like, yo, he's top 5, thinking of the body of work instead of thinking of like the guys who got now. You think Booker is better than Trae? All right. Yo, honestly, I think Booker, I think that's a close one. Those are one of those like, yo, you could have a first pick. I'll take whoever's left. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a really close call. But I think an argument could be made for either. And that's kind of the point that I'm talking about. That's kind of the point that I'm making. Like, so, like, when people, and again, I ain't saying there's nobody in the chat right now, but when people were in my comments, like, I'm disrespecting Devin Booker and the Suns, it's like, yo, I'm not being disrespectful. There's just really, like, there's some tough players right now. So to say a guy's in that next group, like I said, my 8 that I think would be solidified would be in no particular order: KD, Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Embiid, Bron, Steph, Tatum. And then after that, Ja, Trae Young, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell. What about Donovan Mitchell? Everybody was loving Donovan Mitchell last year. Now, like, nobody even want to talk about Donovan Mitchell. You know what I mean? Like, I think that becomes like the next group of guys. And you can kind of order them however you want. So, yeah, maybe Booker's 9. And if he's not 9, maybe he's 11. Like, maybe you put Trae Young over him. Maybe you put Donovan Mitchell over him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you put Ja over him. But I don't think it's disrespect either way you put it. Like, if you tell me that Booker is number 9, or if you tell me he's number 12, I don't think you're far off either way. If Kawhi is healthy, Luka would be kicked out of the top 5. Wrong. Wrong. If Kawhi is... Listen, I told you I ain't want to rank him, but I guess I'm telling you Luka ain't 5. Because a healthy Kawhi is still not better than Luka. Luka was kicking Kawhi's behind in the bubble. Luka's a bad man. Luka is a bad man. Can we get your top 5 hair in the NBA? Oh, you know I'm bald, huh? You know I'm bald, so you coming at me. Yo, top 5 hair in the NBA. Cam, I'm gonna answer your question first. How legit is Miami? Not very. Matter of fact, I think if the Hawks are the 8 seed, they're gonna push the Heat to the limit. I think that's a potential 7-game series. They might, even if they were to sweep the Hawks, I don't think Miami's legit, because I think Miami, I don't know who you go to late in games, because Jimmy Butler ain't like that. Jimmy Butler he's a great player. I love Bam Adebayo. I'm a Duke fan, but I love the Kentucky guys. I just like how they play. I like how they compete. I'm a really big fan of Bam Adebayo. I actually, and Hurst, if he's still in here, would tell y'all, I was praying that the Sixers would draft him at the time. Tyler Hero too, like those Kentucky guys. But if Tyler Hero's the guy I got to rely on to get me to a championship, and I don't think I'm going to get to a championship. I don't think Jimmy Butler's probably their best player, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to go get it when you need somebody to go get it. And Tyler Hero, we saw him look absolutely incredible a couple years ago in the playoffs. But we've also seen him looking incredibly awful last year in the playoffs. So in his 2 playoffs, he looked really good and then really bad. I don't know that I want to rely on that guy to be the man. No closure in Miami, but I'm not sure Atlanta will keep it close. Yeah, they got no closures in Miami. They defend, they play hard, and playing hard is a skill. Any coach nowadays will tell you playing hard is a skill, and I think that'll get them games. But I see them beating the Hawks. I think they'll beat the Hawks in 7. And then I think they'll lose in round 2 to the Sixers. We got to get to our playoff predictions. We still ain't talk about that yet, man. I appreciate you guys. Listen, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? If you guys want to support the channel and financially, no pressure, no have to, but, go ahead, hit that super chat. That way you also know if you hit the super chat, I will not miss any comments. I don't think I've missed any so far, but I know some people are like, yo, can you answer my question? The way it look on the screen, it's only 28 of us, so I'm doing a good job keeping up. But as we get more and more people, it's going to be hard to answer everybody's question. Throw that super chat up there, and I will be guaranteed to answer your question. And we got 30 people in here and only 15 likes, man. Let's make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's see. See what I'm saying? Like Eric, I missed what Eric said. Body of work was referring to Steph. When you go to debate, people go back to what he accomplished rather than focusing on what he's doing now versus the top 5. Exactly. And he's balling out. And that's why I would say he's right outside the top 5, but he just ain't that. I think people forget how good Kawhi Leonard was before tearing his ACL. He was on a historic postseason run last year, averaging 31 on 65%. Those are Shaq-esque numbers from a wing. I ain't sleeping on, again, here we go. Similar thing, right? I'm not knocking Kawhi. I just don't think, you said Luka was getting bumped out. I said Luka wasn't the one getting bumped out. If anybody's getting bumped out, I don't think it would be Luka. I think if anybody was getting bumped out, this is going to sound crazy. You ready for this? I think if anybody was getting bumped out, it would be Kevin Durant or Embiid. And not Luka, not Giannis, not Jokic. But everybody wants to say I'm hating on Jokic. I just said Jokic is a top 3 player in the NBA, but everybody going to call me the hater. Hi. Oh, what's up, Christina? Hey, that's my baby dog. That's my baby dog. What's up, babe? Celtics or Nets? Celtics in 6. Golden Fighter, I think Oladipo won't be an X factor. He won't be as impactful as people say he'll be. I mean, is he even really healthy? You know, that's the thing with Oladipo. I'm not really sure he's 100% healthy. Y'all be right back. I got to go to the bathroom so bad. I've been chugging this water. Be right back. Nah, Embiid is top 3, not 3 right now. Top 3, and he's not 3. Listen, it's tough, man. It's so close. Jokic and Embiid is so close. Jokic can just do more, and I usually favor the guys that can do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Embiid, obviously. There have been times where I felt like Embiid is the best player. Here's the thing. I think Embiid is one of those guys on any given night, he's the best player. But you got to ask yourself, you know, maybe it's so tough, man. It's so tough. See, this is why I don't think KD would be. I think KD is the guy who I'd be most comfortable sliding out of the top 5. Just right now. I mean, KD doesn't defend like those other guys defend consistently, but he's a bucket too. I mean, listen, it's not Luka. I'm telling you that right now. We ain't taking Luka out the top 5. We're not taking Luka out the top 5. You want to talk about top 3 and not 3? That's Luka Doncic, boy. Luka is tough. KD is the greatest 3-level scorer of all time. Probably, but I think that's an overrated claim. So, yeah, that might be true. But I don't know that that's, you know what I mean? Can we clap it up for Christina? Coming to check out your boy. KD, Kawhi, Giannis were battling for best player in the world last postseason. I guess. I don't know that I see it that way. Embiid gets bumped. I believe KD can score at will when he wants, and he's likely to take over a game when he. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I think I would bump Embiid out as well. Again, and this is coming from a Sixers fan, so you guys know I'm not biased, man. Can we let the people in the comment section know I'm not biased? Because I think Embiid is the guy. Listen, Hurst. If there's anybody's opinion on basketball I appreciate most in the world, is probably Hurst. And I'm not just agreeing to agree with him. I'm just also letting y'all know that as well. But yeah, I think Embiid is the guy that gets bumped, and it's because Embiid, I think on that list, like if you take that top 5 I gave you, I think Embiid is the guy that is most reliant on other people in a way. Now that might sound weird because I'm also sitting here telling you he's the most valuable player in the NBA. Yet I'm telling you he kind of needs other people. But it's like when you're a traditional big, like you need guards, like you do. You don't need the best guards. He doesn't need the world's greatest guards to play with him. And he will still make other people around him better. But you kind of need those guys around. Like KD nobody needs to get KD the ball. Nobody needs to get KD open. Nobody needs to do those things, right? Nobody needs to get Luka the ball. Nobody needs to get, like, he gonna go get his. Giannis gonna go get his. And Jokic is, and that's why I say he's so rare. He's like a unicorn. Because Jokic is the point guard for the Nuggets. Like, Jokic doesn't need anybody to help him go do what he gonna do. Like, Jokic could just run the point for you, as he does in Denver. He guards fives and he plays the one. Like, as great as Joel Embiid is, and I do think he's the MVP of the league this year, that's just my opinion. As great as he is, and as I would say he's top 5 in the league, I do think if Kawhi is healthy and Kawhi is Kawhi, if he's bumping it, I don't know that Kawhi is top 5, but just on the premise of what your question was, like, who's getting bumped, I think it would be Embiid. Let me turn this light on right here. I need some better lighting. I need my brother got the huge floodlights, yo. Man, if y'all football fans, my brother is the Raider Honcho. Yes, that Raider Honcho on YouTube, like 14,000 subs. If he in the chat right now, he's super quiet, but he doing his thing. He got them big lights. I need them big lights. I ain't got no room for him though. All right. I know I'm probably falling behind a little bit. Can confirm he's not a biased Sixers fan. Appreciate you. Celtics fan. Can tell this dude is objective. I appreciate you. Non-2022 basketball-related question. Do you think this 2017 Warriors wash every team in a 7-game series in league history? It's a good question. We need some of your pickup highlights, bro. I'm washed, man. I'm washed. I still got bounce, though. That's what's crazy. I need hip surgery. I got like 2 tears in my hip labrum, and I can still dunk. I still got bounce. But jumper a little broke at the moment. That's why I coach and don't play. Do I think 2017 Warriors wash every team in a 7-game series? 2017, is that the first year they had KD? Yeah, didn't they struggle? Didn't they struggle against Houston? Or was that the year before they struggled against Houston when they almost went undefeated and then they almost lost? No, they almost lost to the Thunder that year. So, yeah, then in 2017 they almost lose to Houston? I don't know. I might need to fact check that. Do the Hawks go on another crazy run? I think they could. I think that the Hawks have a real chance. If they win and get to the playoffs, I think the Hawks have a real chance of beating the Heat. And this is the funny thing about matchups. I think that if the Cavs win, I think the Heat are getting the Cavs out of there in 5. I think if the Hawks win, it's a 7-game series that can go either way because Trae Young is that good. He's that special. They have a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year and just aren't scared. Like, they're not going to be scared. They're not going to be afraid of the moment. They went and they beat, I don't want to say a Goliath, but they went and upset the Sixers, who had Embiid and Simmons and those boys, and did it on their floor, right? They went to Madison Square Garden and Trae put on that show, that performance. Like, I don't think Trae and those boys are scared of anybody, and I think they give the Heat a 7-game series. And if they beat the Heat, and then they got to go against the Sixers, boy, can you imagine? Can you imagine what that series will be like? Their confidence will be at an all-time high because they're going to be like, yo, we beat this team last year. And they probably feel like they're better this year. So it's possible for them to go on a run, but I think they'll lose in 7 to the Heat. I think the floor spacing on that team was unreal. Like that spread pick and roll was impossible to guard. I mean, listen, that team was outrageous. That team was outrageous. I just don't think they'll wash everybody. Like, would they beat a lot of teams? Yeah. I don't know that I can say that they'll wash every team. Like, is that team gonna? Would that team beat the Miami Heat team at their peak? That 2012 Miami Heat team. Or what about the 2013 Miami Heat team? Everybody remembers that the 7-game series against the Spurs. Yeah, that was a close series. They almost folded up, if not for that Ray Allen shot. But that team also had like the second longest winning streak in NBA history when they won 27 games in a row. I think they were battling some demons a little bit in that final series. But would they wash that Heat team? Like, nah, they'll probably beat them, but are they gonna wash them? So you asked if they would wash everybody. Well, that's one team they probably don't wash. Because washing means 5. I don't think you wash the team if you beat them in 6 or 7. Sorry, don't see the bias. Been chatting with Logan for weeks. Love his objectivity. I appreciate you, bro. Do you believe in the Grizzlies? Yes. Yeah, I think the Grizzlies are tough. I think they kind of got it's going to be tough. I'm curious what the Warriors will look like. I'm curious to see what the Warriors look like. And Ja has missed mad games. Ja Morant's missed mad games, and they kept winning in his place. But, again, if you want to make it far in the playoffs, you need your star to be a star. As long as Ja Morant is healthy and Ja Morant is playing like he did all postseason, all season long, yeah, that team is real. That team is real. I can see that team getting to the conference finals. I can see them beating I think they're going to beat the Timberwolves. I think that series is over in 5 or 6. I don't think there's ever a moment where you really feel like the Grizzlies are going to lose that series. But I could see them winning that in 6. And then after that, they would play the winner of the Warriors and Nuggets. If it's the Nuggets, I think the Grizzlies get by the Nuggets. I just think they're better than the Nuggets. And I think Jaren Jackson will make life rough on Jokic. Doesn't mean he'll shut him down, but I think he'll make it rough. But if it's the Warriors and the Warriors are 100%, people forget before the injuries, the Warriors were the best team in the league. Like, they were first place in the NBA for some time. 20, 30 games into the year, they were top 1 or 2 records in the NBA, and then the injuries started happening. Right? So if the Warriors are healthy, that would be tough for the Grizzlies. The way they score, the way they would be able to shoot the ball and score the ball and they're so versatile when you put Draymond at the 5 spot. I'd be curious to see that series, but I do believe in the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies could make a run to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think they're making it to the championship, though. I think they're tough. They're a tough out without Ja. I mean, yeah, they'd be a tough out. I agree with that. Even if Ja Morant wasn't 100% healthy, I think they would be a tough out. But my belief in them would be a lot lower. Like, I don't think they are a conference final team without Ja Morant being Ja Morant. But I would love to see Grizzlies versus Warriors would be fire. I would love to see that series. I would love to see the Grizzlies take on the Warriors. Man, that would be tremendous. That would be tremendous. How do you see Ben Simmons affecting the Celtics next year? Oh, let's get to the Ben Simmons talk. I'm not sure that Warriors team beats the 04 Pistons. Isaiah Thomas and the bad boy, Shaq and Kobe Lakers. Yo, Shaq and Kobe's Lakers is another good. That's legit. And the 96 Bulls. That's what maybe. It was just like he said, our phrase. They would wash most teams. Again, you put them against the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let's get into this Ben Simmons. Do I think they can affect the Celtics next series? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I do. Now, how much? How much? Is that you, Wave? Oh, that might be Wavinho. Let me find out that's Wave. I think first of all, I got to point out, I was on Twitter. Somebody said that there was a report that Ben Simmons is walking around with the confidence of Jordan. Somebody responded, Montel Jordan. Yo, that joint had me crying. Twitter shouldn't be free, yo. I think he could have a big impact. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. We haven't seen Ben Simmons in forever and a day. You know what I'm saying? I think Ben Simmons is one of my favorite players in the league. Anybody who know me will tell you I love Ben Simmons. I understand his shortcomings. I'm not defending him. I'm not making excuses for him. But he is great. He is between great and elite at every single skill on the basketball floor outside of shooting the ball. And if he by the grace of God found a jump shot or even just a free throw, just shoot 75-80% from the free throw line and we'd be looking at a top 10 player in the NBA. But how much will he have an impact on this series? I don't know what he's going to look like. It's hard to say. He could have a big effect or he could have the opposite effect where it's like just throwing him in there isn't a great idea and the timing is off and the chemistry is off and all that stuff. Ben Simmons. Oh, Albie in here. Ben Simmons all day. Yeah, this guy Albie said how Ben Simmons was like the worst player of all time until he went to the Nets. Now, listen, James Harden was the best ever, and Ben Simmons was trash. And then they switched teams, and now Albie switched tunes. You feel me? Yes, sir. Piece of Wavinho. There's no way you put the 04 Pistons there. The Warriors would sweep that team. Yeah. New York, we here. Chill. Jersey, we here. Warriors are nice, but new and cool doesn't translate to greatest of all time. And no, they aren't watching all those teams. Kids these days, yeah, they not watching everybody. They might win a lot, but they not watching. Who's Simmons guarding? Tatum? Yeah. Yeah, if Simmons was 100% healthy and I was the Nets, yeah. I'm putting Simmons on Tatum. I'm putting KD on, like, Grant Williams. Actually, yeah. That's probably what I would do. And then I would put, what's his name? Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown probably got a guard. Well, who's playing the big for them with Ben Simmons? Are we assuming Ben Simmons is the 5? That's a good question, isn't it? Are we assuming Ben Simmons is the 5? Because then all of a sudden it kind of changes everything. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to put together this little alert box real quick so we can actually see who out here subscribing and all that stuff. Because we are getting some new subs, and I want to show some love to those people. You feel me? This joint about to be looking crazy, and I don't even care. I just want something real quick. So let me just do this real quick. Copy overlay link. Boom, boom, boom. My fault, y'all. I'll get right back to the questions. Just give me 1 second. I think this is gonna work. I don't really know. Let's see. YouTube alerts. Slide this right here. Boom, just like that. Let's reload these overlays. My fault. Let's get back to it. Yeah, like I don't know. KD not guarding Tatum, and that's my boy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you got to put Ben Simmons on Tatum. Tatum is averaging 33, 14, and 8 on Simmons. I'm sorry. Yo, you disrespectful. Come on, bro. He going to just get career highs on one of the best defenders in the league. Come on, man. Are you crazy? Brooklyn is the Golden State of the East. Yo, that is bro, I could pull up the picture for y'all. This man, Albie, yeah, we pulling receipts. Albaron in the chat. That's my man's and all. But this guy said in a text, a real life text message. Oh, let me find this for y'all. Bro, this man right here. He said, oh, y'all not going to be able to see it. Oh, he lucky y'all not going to be able to see it too. This man said, quote, Harden and KD, top 2 scorers in the league, going to be Golden State of the East. Where's this? This is for Albie. That man said Golden State of the East. That's as a 9, as a 10, as a 11, and as a 12. He was bugging. I like Nuggets over Golden State with Curry hurt. Yeah, that's the big it's put up or shut up time for Jokic, man. If you ask me, if you're gonna be the 2-time MVP, there comes a level of expectation that's not always fair. I think they gotta win that series. Man, I'm starting to get mad. People in the chat, it's starting to get hard to catch. I can't have Simmons and Drummond on the floor at the same time. Why can't you? Simmons and Embiid play together at the same time. I think Simmons should come off the bench. He hasn't played. He can play good defense with second rotation. Yeah, I think he should come off the bench when he comes. Did you already discuss your predictions for the Raptors Sixers? Nah, not really. I haven't really talked about any of my predictions yet. We just been talking hoops, which has been fun. Who do you think is the hottest, most dangerous team going into the playoffs? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Who do I think? Can I go by conference or do I got to go overall? I'm going to let you answer that question first. Not one of the best. Ben is the best defense. That's what I'm saying. Like, Ben is legit on the defensive end, man. Ben is legit on the defensive end. Like, Ben Simmons can guard Tatum. Now, nobody's going to hold Tatum to 10 points a game. I'm not saying that, but he will make his life horrible for 7 games, even though he only going to play 4, 5, 6, and 7, apparently. Eric R., excellent show, bro. Just subscribe. Yo, shout out to my mans. I don't know why my overlays ain't working. I don't know why they not working, because I see it right here on my screen, and it say it should be working. I got a couple of y'all, man, that subscribed, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate all y'all. I don't know why it ain't working. Like, I hear it. I hear the ding, but nothing's coming up on the screen. So I'm not really sure why that is. But listen, this is the first night. We're going to have that fixed. I promise y'all. Bam Adebayo enters the chat. Yo, Bam Adebayo is great. That's great and all. But he ain't the best defender in the NBA. He's not, I mean, that's no disrespect. Again, that ain't disrespect. He's just not the best defender in the NBA, in my opinion. Steph off-ball gravity makes him an infinitely more valuable offensive player than Harden. I don't know what that's in response to. Like I said, it's kind of hard to get caught up. You would think this guy knows how to live stream. Yeah, this isn't my first rodeo. But you know what it is, Hank? I'm on the same OBS as I was when I used to live. Like, for those of you who don't know, and I know most of you or all of you will not know, I would stream like gaming. So I've live streamed before. That's why everything was set up ready to go. But I think because I'm on the same profile, Hank, as my gaming one, it's not transferred over to my YouTube account, I guess. And I thought it was. Like, I did the stream key and all that, whatever. By conference, I think the hottest team in the East is not the most dangerous, though. I think the hottest team in the East is the Raptors. I mean, the Raptors have looked great the last month and a half, but I don't think they're the most dangerous team. I think they could beat the Sixers. We got to talk about my predictions pretty soon because I got to hop off pretty soon, but I do think that they're the hottest team in the East, but I think the Bucks are the most dangerous team in the East. And then out west, I think the hottest team, and I think the hottest team is the Grizzlies. I agree with Wavino in here. I think the hottest team in the West is the Grizzlies, but I don't think they're the most. You know what? They probably are the most dangerous team too. That team, the Grizzlies, man, if they're rolling, that's a tough out. But they're not my pick to win the West. So yeah, I think in the East, I think Boston was the team. The Boston Celtics were the hottest team in the league, and then Robert Williams got hurt. And Brady, sorry, I'm just seeing your question from before. It's kind of hard to keep up. I don't know if Robert Williams will be back for round 2. I think even if he is, he's not going to be 100%. And that's what makes it tough for him, right? And for the team. I think Boston would have been my answer, the hottest and most dangerous team in the East, Boston Celtics. But without Robert Williams, I think that brings them down a lot. Eric, man, I appreciate you, bro. Hey, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. You're welcome anytime. You're welcome anytime. Live streams, check out the videos, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, once Robert Williams got hurt, it kind of just that team is gonna be different come playoff time, I think. But that's just my opinion. All right, let's do predictions, man. Let's do predictions. Can we pull up? Oh, we got another sub that I can't see on my screen. I'm gonna give you the shout out though, because I see it on my screen. Was that Wavino that subbed? I'm gonna give a quick shout out to everybody who has subbed so far. Shout out to Roger Lord. Shout out to Mickey Carr. Shout out to Marvin. Shout out to Timbo Slice. Shout out to Albie. Shout out to Kyle. I know Eric say he subscribed, but I'm not seeing it on my end. But shout out to Eric. Appreciate everybody subscribing to the channel, man. Like I said, hope we're going to get these overlays right by the next one. Let's pull up a little playoff bracket, huh? Let's pull up a little playoff bracket. Let me pull this up. You know what's crazy? They like don't have an updated one online. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, let's take a look. Who do we think Rocky News just subbed. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. If Rob Will comes back 90%, you think they can come out of the East? Woj said there's a real possibility he comes back late round 1. I think it's not just him coming back. It's what does he look like when he's back. Just being there makes them better, but it doesn't necessarily make them contenders. What's he look like? You know what I'm saying? Is he having 90% of the impact? Or is he just, a shell of himself? That's kind of what will remain to be seen. So let's start out west. Where people, this is going to be controversial, I guess. So we already know T-Wolves, they got that spot in the 7. And now we got the Pelicans and the Clippers playing tonight. I'm just going to pencil in. Can I pull up a little? Hold on a second. Let me see something real quick. Let me pull up. Hopefully this don't make my whole computer crash, because my computer kind of sucks. Drop those super chats. Help me get a new computer. Albie, you saying, hold on now. Albie, are you saying that the Pelicans are going to beat the Clippers? Hold on, Darby. Are you two saying the Pelicans? The Pelicans are going to beat the Clippers? Yeah, you might be right. Pels beating the Clippers, that's isn't an insane... Yeah, I know. I just wanted to be dramatic. I ain't mad at that. I think it really doesn't matter. I really don't think it matters who you put here. Like, we just going hold on, let's get that. Let's get a darker color here. We just going to put a little sad face, because it don't matter. It really doesn't matter. The Suns are advancing. I'm going to say the Suns beat whoever they play in 5. So let's say this is Phoenix. Phoenix in 5, gentleman's sweep. Pels beating the Clippers and Grizzlies sweeping Soda. I got Nola beating them in the play-in as well. If Clippers win, do you think Kawhi comes back this season? I'd hope so. Let's drop down to the bottom of the bracket. We got the Grizzlies taking on the T-Wolves. Man, this is Memphis, man. Memphis is winning that. I think Memphis does it in 5, maybe 6. Only reason why I even say 5 or 6 is because they do have a lot of contributors that don't really have a lot of playoff experience. And then the Timberwolves have a guy like Pat Bev, who, although is not great, has that experience factor. D'Angelo Russell's been around the league. But, yo, hold on. I need to ask you guys this. This is a serious question. Is it time for Karl Anthony Towns to step up? Like, Karl Anthony Towns puts up these great numbers, and he seems great on paper, but it seems like whenever you need Karl Anthony Towns, you don't really show up. And I think it's now time to show up if you're Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, yo, Cat showed his true colors. Oh, hold on. There's an actual... Hold on. See, this is why... Hold on. See. This right here is why... Man, go to the site. This right here is why... This right here is why KD is the moderator. All right, we good. Look, now we all official. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Now look at us. Look at us now. Luka going to take the mass past the Suns. Oh, Albie, yeah. Let's talk about that. Cat needs to step. Yo, it's time. It's time for Cat to do something, man. And Cat from Jersey. Don't get it mistaken. We rep Jersey out here. But it's time. You know what I mean? Houdini, the way he disappears, right? And I mean, the man fouled out. Hold on. And this is speculation. This is speculatory. But did anybody else look how mad Cat looked that they were doing well without him? Or is that just me? Cat looked sick. Bro, he looked so upset that they were winning without him. Maybe he was just angry. He might have just been angry. Oh, look at that. It worked. Rocky News, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. He might have just been mad. But he looked, you know what I'm saying? He looked like he was mad. But all right, let's get to it. Whoa, hold on. So we said Phoenix. I'm gonna say Phoenix in 5, gentleman sweep. My chat going crazy right now. A lot of people bashing Cat. I ain't mad at that. Raptors are the only team that held Embiid to 0 points in the game. They own him. We gonna get to that side of the bracket, bro. But own him. I don't think he owns them, but we'll get to that. Let's drop down to Memphis, Minnesota. Memphis, Minnesota. Let's turn this music down a little bit. I'm going to take Memphis. I'm going to say Memphis in 5. I'm going to say Memphis. It could go 6. And you guys can reference this as me being wrong. Sixers are definitely a threat. Series could go either way. Respectfully, Embiid is a different player. Yeah, we're going to get there. Next, Dallas and Utah. Luka is hurt. Bring the brooms out. I feel so bad. Bro, I be feeling guilty predicting sweeps. I don't know why. But I genuinely feel guilty if I say a team's going to get swept. With Luka hurt, and it's now or never for the Jazz. Like, yo, if they don't get out the first round, somebody out. It's either Mitchell or Gobert. I'm guessing Gobert. Coaching staff. Somebody got to get out. But on the flip side of that is, I feel like when they get behind, they're going to feel that pressure. They're going to cave a little bit. I'm going to say Dallas in 6, mainly because I don't know about the health of Luka. Got to run. Good chat, brother. Hey, Addy, man, I appreciate you, bro. You have a good rest of your night. Might want to change the window size, huh? And then should I move me? Let's move me over. Oh. Let's put me right in the middle. Now we can see everything better, right? So yeah, I don't know Luka's health. I'm worried he might miss a game. Somebody in the chat earlier said he was going to miss a game. Conley is mid. Remember Conley had the biggest contract in NBA history for like 6 months. D'Lo and Ant-Man are the ones to watch. If they hit clutch shots together, Cat plays defense, they have a chance to shock. I think that means they have a chance to win a game or two, but I don't think they win in that series, man. And then Golden State, Denver. I'm going to assume that Golden State gets healthy. Again, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't lie. I'm never going to lie to you. I haven't checked in on the injury report. I don't know the expected timetable for a lot of these guys. Let's just assume healthy. I think Golden State wins that series, and I think they win it in 6. Best players like KD, Giannis, Joel, Joker just play their game and stay even for the most part throughout the game. They don't get too high or too low. That's what it takes to be great. That's what the great ones do. All right, let's go over to the East for the first round. So we got it looks like a lot of chalk, but I think in the NBA, in professional sports, typically you do get chalk because the better teams are just better. Steph expected comeback game 1 from Woj. Oh, yeah. I think that this is going to be Atlanta. I think that Atlanta is going to play here. So assume this is Atlanta. I'm going to take Miami, but I am not confident in this pick. If there's any pick that I'm not confident on, it is this one. I'm going to say Miami in 7. I think if it's the Hawks have a real chance of beating them. And if it's the Cavs, Miami's getting them out of there in 5 because I don't think the Cavs are legit at all. Bringing it down to Boston Nets, I think Boston is just better. I think that the Nets have 2 studs, obviously, all-time great scorers, but they don't defend. I read a stat last week that said with Kyrie Irving on the floor, the Nets have the worst defensive rating of all time. If the Nets find a way to defend like they did against Cleveland throughout the playoffs, well then, yeah, I think that the Nets have a real shot at winning this. I just don't think they will. I don't think that the Nets can defend consistently enough to beat the Celtics, who have guys like so many. They got Brown and Tatum who can go off and get you 30 at any given moment. And then they got role players who just do their job. They just do their job. So I'm going to take Boston in 6. Because I don't think the Nets will defend good enough. Atlanta will miss John Collins. That's a fact, bro. If Atlanta at full strength, I'm taking Atlanta to beat the Heat. I'm taking Atlanta to beat the Heat if Atlanta's at full. Because people forget that Atlanta was in the Eastern Conference Finals, and like that matters. They're not gonna be scared of nobody. They've been there before. We know what it's about. And they got a certified bucket and closer in Trae Young. And their role players have been there before. They've been there, done that. We're not scared. We're not shook. We'll take on anybody. Jazz are definitely mid. I think they need a two-way player and a vet to help. I think they need to get rid of Gobert. All right. We're going to save the Sixers for last because you know that's my squad. Milwaukee, Chicago. Listen, when I say we're going to save the Sixers for last, it's really because I ain't got nothing to talk about here. This is Bucks in 4. No disrespect. No disrespect. This is Bucks in 4. Full strength Atlanta is dangerous. Yeah. That's facts. But yeah, this is Bucks in 4. Chicago has been below 500 since like the 40th game of the year. Since like halfway through the year, they've been below 500. They just started so well. You take away that start, they might not even have made the playoffs. Sixers, Raptors. Listen. Good luck, Sixers. Going to be a battle. That's a fact. This is a series I'm concerned about. I am concerned about this series. The Raptors, they seem to have our number this year. Not that I put a ton of stock in the regular season matchup, but they definitely outplayed us. In Toronto, we're missing Thibault, who is, if not our, like, I know he started most of the year, hasn't been starting lately, but at worst, he's our sixth man, and he can't play because he's not vaccinated. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. Interpret that however you will. I still, listen, you need a guy. You need a guy. The Sixers are going to have the best player on the floor every night. The Sixers are going to have, at worst, the third best player, depending how you feel about Harden and how healthy he is any given night. And, I mean, listen, if you're looking at the top 6 players in the series, Philly probably has 4 of them. If you look at the top 7, I would say Philly definitely has 4 of the best 7 guys overall in this series. And I just think they're the better team. There's been a lot of talk about how the Raptors have been playing lately, and respectfully, they've been playing elite. There's been a lot of talk about how Toronto has beaten Philly this year, and respectfully, they are 3-1. There's been a lot of talk about how Philly doesn't seem like a championship team, which I don't think is necessarily fair because the first 2 weeks we had Harden, everybody said we look like a finals contender, like a legit title contender, and then we look bad in that last week or two, and everybody's kind of switching up. I think the Sixers are going to win this series because I think they're the better team. I think they have the best player on the floor, and I think the Sixers know it's now or never. Like for Harden, it is now or never. You have now forced yourself out of 2 organizations, right? You have forced yourself out of town twice, pretending to be fat. And then getting in shape in 2 weeks. If you don't put up now, you probably never will. You got one of the best teammates you've ever had in Joel Embiid, who is an MVP candidate in the league. The thing with the Sixers is, can we defend well enough? We have to be able to defend. Everybody talking about the bench scoring. It's not the bench scoring. We score enough to win. If we score 110, 115, it don't matter who scored the points. And this is how I feel. This is just me in general how I feel about it. Bench scoring is an overrated concept. Like, you need to score enough to win. The points don't care who score them. It's nice to have depth. You don't really need it. I went back. There's an old video I have on this channel from when I first started. I went back and looked at every single champion for like the past 10 years or 20 years. And on average, they're 8 or 9 deep. You don't need to have 10, 11 guys. You got to have 8 or 9. We score enough. We got to be able to defend well enough. I think that we will. I think that we're better than Toronto. I'm going to say Philly in 6. But if the Raptors win, I would not be shocked. Letting that be known now. I know I missed a lot of chat talking about this series. Spicy P about to average 30. He could do that and they could still lose. You feel me? They could do that and they could still lose. There's 2 outcomes, Raptors versus Sixers. Raptors and 6 or Sixers and 7. I don't see them closing out on each other's opposing team whole court. Maybe. I mean, that's not a bad take. It's not a bad take. Raptors can score and defend. Yeah, but so can the Sixers. The Sixers don't consistently defend all the time, but it's playoff times too. You know, Vladimir says something people laughing at. Sixers in 5. Dr. Dread Rule said Raptors in 4. That's so disrespectful. See, saying Raptors in 4, I ain't mad at you. I just know you a fan. That's all. If we were ranking top 7 players in the series, 1 Embiid, 2 Siakam, 3 Harden, 4 Van Vliet, 5 Maxey, 6 OG. Y'all just disrespect. People acting like Tobias Harris ain't nice. That's the craziest thing to me. I don't know why people acting like Tobias Harris isn't a bucket. Tobias Harris is better than OG and Gary Trent Jr. And that's no disrespect to them. Tobias Harris is just a really, really, really good pro player. I mean, there's a reason why he's getting 18 a night for his career. And when he plays well, we win. He just don't get a lot of shots anymore because he's become like the 4th guy. Maxey is kind of overtaking him, and I don't know why. If I have to choose one guy to trust in a series, Maxey or Tobias Harris, I'm going to choose Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris has played well in the playoffs. Tobias Harris helped carry this team for the first half of the year. Like, Tobias Harris was getting 19, 20 a night when we needed him to before Maxey kind of took off, and then we got Harden. Like, dude, they'll win game 1, and 76ers will fold up and cry. That's not how it works, bro. It's not how it works for pros. But, hey, listen, you could end up being right, and then, Pascal's better than Embiid. All right, you got it. So then we have the second round. Let's go out west. And one of my most controversial takes we're going to save. Golden State versus Memphis. I think this is about health. I think this is a great series. Assuming the Warriors are fully healthy. I'm going to take the Warriors in 7. I think each team defends home court. And I think it kind of comes down to that last game in Golden State. Memphis is still very young, as good as they are. I think Memphis is a year away. That team is a year away. And I think Ja missing as much time as he did kind of comes back to haunt them. And he's just not, coming back. And right now is very tough for anybody. I think he's still going to be great. I can see this series going either way. I really can. If Memphis wins, I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm not afraid to put a pick out there, and I'm going to say Golden State in 7. Grizzlies in 7. Listen, maybe. Y'all underestimating how good Embiid is. He is that dude. He's inevitable, and this Raptors series is the showcase. I'm not underestimating. He's my MVP of the league. He is the MVP in the league. Nobody's talking about Scotty Barnes Rookie of the Year. Yo, watch my video next week. I got my awards video dropping next week and my All-NBA team video dropping next week. Only reason why I don't want to talk about it on the live is because I'm going on vacation next week, which means I'm not going to be able to post videos. Like, I'm not going to be able to post breakdowns after games next week. So I got those 2 videos. You're going to want to watch that one if you think we sleeping on Scotty Barnes. Phoenix, Dallas. This is the pick that made everybody go crazy. This was the one, y'all. This is the one where people lost their minds. Hold on real quick. I got to do something real quick. Let me bring this over here real quick. Hold on, y'all. My bad. Give me 1 second, chat. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, just making sure I ain't missing no super chats. Let's get back to what we was talking about here. Okay. I'm picking if they are healthy, if Luka is healthy, I'm taking the Dallas Mavs to win this series in 6. I'm taking the Dallas Mavs to win this series in 6. And I'm going to tell you why. Luka's that guy, but it's a team game. That's facts. But I think people are kind of sleeping on the team the Dallas Mavs have this year, especially now that they got Spencer Dinwiddie. And we all know Spencer Dinwiddie is a bucket in clutch time. Jalen Brunson has been playing much better this year, much improved. He had a disappointing postseason last year. I think he's out to prove something. And what I think then they got shooters, right? Like, you got Finney-Smith who can shoot the ball. You got Bullocks who can shoot the ball. They got shooters. They got scorers. They got a superstar. And I think what people are sleeping on, Chris Paul hating me. Yo, Kyle, you better text Hurst, because Chris Paul, I be talking about how he might be the best point guard ever. There's no Chris Paul hate here. But what the X factor is the Dallas Mavericks defend. And I think there's this perception that the Dallas Mavs don't defend because in recent years they haven't. But the Dallas Mavs were a top 5 defense for a majority of the season. In fact, I think they finished like 7th in defensive rating. Now, I have not looked this up in a week or two. So we're going to do this in real time. NBA.com. We're going to find out right now in real time stats. Advanced stats. And let's do defensive rating. Dallas Mavericks, 7th in the NBA in defense. Now, I know the Suns are higher, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm not saying they're a better defensive team than the Suns. What I'm trying to say is when you combine the superstar, Luka, with a second guy who can go get a bucket when needed, Spencer Dinwiddie, with shooters around them, Finney-Smith, Bullocks, Brunson, Dinwiddie can shoot, and a team that defends, and they got some guys off the bench who could defend a little bit, I think the Dallas Mavericks can beat them. J. Kidd is the GOAT. Yo, J. Kidd, I'm not a fan of. But this team, he's got that team defending like they haven't in recent memory. This team is legit. I think if not for a bad start, a lot of more people would have the Mavericks. Like, the Mavericks started the year. They're the 4 seed in the West. I think they won 51 games. And they started the year 8-15. I was about to ask you who you think is this year as Atlanta, and you answered it by picking Dallas. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I think this is the team that goes out there and just hoops. I think it all comes down to Luka. If Luka's calf ain't right, they might lose in the first round. But a healthy Luka and the guys they have, I truly believe that they are going to beat the Suns. They'll have the best player on the floor every night. They got a second guy who can go get it, and they defend well enough, and they have shooters. I think it's going to be a great series. I'm taking Dallas. Somebody in the chat said Mavericks, since the trade deadline, are on a 60-plus win pace. Exactly. I'm talking about Coach. He turned them up. Exactly. Yeah, I know what you meant. I was just hating because I don't like Jason Kidd. I'm a Sixers fan, man. When he was on the Nets, he was killing us. So, yeah, I got the Mavs in 6. Let's go route east. Milwaukee, Boston. The key here is Robert Williams. Even if Robert Williams comes back, let's face it, he's not going to be himself. And I think without Robert Williams, they're not going to be good enough on the defensive end being able to protect the rim. I don't even have the Mavs getting past the Jazz if Luka ain't 100%. Exactly, Vlad. And if he's not, that I even said that at the time. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about that series, but that's exactly what I said. Without a healthy Luka, they could lose in round 1. But I think, listen, man, it's the Bucks. It's the Bucks. The Bucks are going to win this series. I just got here. How far do you think the Mavs will get in the playoffs realistically? Well, Christian, you stick around, my guy, because right now they in the Western Conference Finals. They in the WCF. But yeah, I think this will be a tough series because Boston is legit and they're tough. But I think the Bucks are on another level. The Bucks just seem like that team that kind of chilled a little bit in the regular season because they know what it takes. They know what they need to do. They know where they needed to be physically, mentally, and I think they're there. They're going to have the best player on the floor. They got Drew Holiday, first team all defense. Chris Middleton, another guy who can go get it. Brook Lopez is back, and I don't know if you guys know this. Brook Lopez is actually one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. They got Bobby Portis, who can hit threes. This is the team, I think, to beat in the East. I'm going to say Milwaukee in 6. Then we go to my Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Miami Heat. I don't think the Miami Heat are legit. I don't think they have a closer. I think they're a tough team. I think they're a really good team, but I think the Miami Heat are just one of those regular season teams. Doc Rivers coached the Lakers after he gets fired for losing to the Raptors. Yeah, they would. They would if that's the case. They're going to miss PJ. They don't have a go-to guy, right, as a closer unless it's Tyler Hero, which I just don't trust Tyler Hero yet. I love Tyler Hero. He had one great, shout out to James Black for the sub. They had one great postseason run where Tyler Hero looked great. That was in the bubble. Then last year, Tyler Hero looked terrible in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the Sixers are better than the Heat. I do. I just think they're a better team. I'm curious to see how Harden looks, but the fact that the Sixers got past the Raptors in this theoretical means I think Harden is going to be healthy and look 90% of himself. I don't think he's going to look like Harden from Houston. I don't think he'll ever look like that again. He's older. But I think the Sixers are going to get by the Heat. The Sixers are that team that I think they were just built for the postseason. Like, we're not very deep. Like, it's not a coincidence. Who does well in the regular season? The teams that are the deepest, because it's a war of attrition. It's 82 games. Nobody plays 82 games anymore. The teams that stay healthy and can go 8, 9, 10 deep are great in the regular season. But then when the game slows down and you have rest every other night, the depth doesn't matter as much, and the better teams come up and win. And that's just what I think about the Sixers. I think if a season was 60 games long, I think the Sixers might have messed around and been a top 2 seed. But with 82 games, Joel Embiid is going to miss a certain amount. Harden, he came late and then he missed a certain amount. I think that we were a team that is going to perform better in the postseason than we did in the regular season. I'm taking the Sixers to win this in 6. Now, look at that. 3 seed, 4 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed. Raptors are deep. Exactly. And I think that's why the Raptors ended up having a pretty good regular season. But I don't think that depth helps you as much in the postseason. I just don't. Guys are resting every other night. Minutes are extended. Your starters get more time in the in the postseason. I think depth is a little bit of a slightly overrated concept come playoff time. Out west, you got the Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. Again, we're operating under the assumption that these teams are healthy. I just think the Mavericks are better than the Warriors. Dinwiddie gives them a legit number 2 option. Luka is a matchup nightmare for them. What are you going to put Draymond on Luka? Okay, then who's going to guard Dinwiddie and who's going to guard Bullocks? Who's going to protect the rim? Like, Draymond is low-key a really good rim protector. Well, if you're guarding Luka and you're pulled away from the basket, who's protecting the rim? I think this is a matchup nightmare for the Golden State Warriors. I think that the Mavericks would beat the Golden State Warriors. I just think this is Luka's year, man. I think this is just Luka's year where Luka puts the whole league on notice like, yo, I'm that guy. And I think he has the team to do that. And again, they're finally defending. They're a top 10 defense in the league. And here's low-key something I find interesting. I saw this about a week ago. Let's see if it stays true. The Mavericks play at the slowest pace in the NBA. They play at the slowest pace in the NBA. Now, that's interesting. The reason why that is interesting is because, as we know, the game slows down in the postseason. And everybody talks about the game slowing down in the postseason. Well, that kind of favors the Mavericks because they're used to playing at that slower pace anyway. That's what they do. They play at a slow pace, so the game doesn't change. When everybody talks about how the game changes in the postseason because you play so much slower, well, the game's not changing for them. That's just how they play, which means they're ready for it. They're prepared for it. I think they win that series. And then we go out east. You got the Milwaukee Bucks against my Philadelphia 76ers. And this is when I think you have one of those cases of the best player in the league is going to just go best player in the league. And the best player in the league is Giannis. I don't see how the Sixers can beat the Milwaukee Bucks unless James Harden and Embiid are just so on another level that it's just one of them things where it just doesn't matter who they're playing. They are just rolling. Embiid is getting 35 a night. Harden is giving you 30 a night and hitting clutch threes. Maxey has matured and is ready to go. Toby is hitting shots when given the opportunity. The bench is not collapsing. The biggest problem with the Sixers, again, it's their bench, but not because of bench scoring. It's their defense. They play defense. The bench comes in and they give up 15-point leads. I think they gave up more 15-point leads than anybody in the NBA this year. So unless our bench decides to start defending and they don't give up every lead that we have, and unless Joel Embiid is getting 35 a night and Harden is getting 30 and playing in the clutch and hitting shots in the clutch, I just don't see how the Sixers get by the Bucks. I think that the Bucks win this in 7 at home. I think Giannis just has one of those games where he's like, yo, I'm the best in the league. Here's a 50-piece in Game 7, and they beat the Sixers. And I think if the Sixers make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, Doc keeps his job. Anything before that, I think he's getting fired. And that brings us to the NBA Finals, Milwaukee versus the Dallas Mavericks. I've been telling you how Luka is going to Luka, and he's going to turn all the way up, assuming he's healthy. And this was their team, their year. I gave all the reasons why. But at the end of the day, Giannis is the best player in the league, playing at a super high level. The way he's played this year would be good enough to win MVP in any other year, it seems like. And I think that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win over the Dallas Mavs. I think it's going to be a classic. I think Giannis. Whoa, what, man? Get this out of my face. Get it out of my face. Well, I can't. I guess once I pick that, they want me to submit my picks. Well, I don't want to submit my picks right now. But yeah, man, I think that's that. I think that the the Mavs are going to lose to the Bucks in 7 games in the finals, and I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be your NBA champions back to back. I do. I think they're going to be back-to-back champs. But we'll see, right? I mean, we'll have to just wait and see. If Luka definitely outplays Giannis and wins Finals MVP, does that change the overall player rate? Absolutely. Because I think, listen, if I got to rank them, I think Luka's number 2. I think Luka's number 2 and Giannis is number 1. I think if Luka went out there and played against Giannis in the finals and won Finals MVP and outdueled him, yeah, I think you got to say he's the best player in the NBA right now. That's not necessarily a knock on Giannis. It's just like, yo, y'all went head to head. They probably would match up, right? And especially in a game 7, Giannis is going to guard Luka. And if he outplayed him and got Finals MVP and got the dub, how could you deny Luka as being best player in the league? James hasn't done that since Houston. Exactly. And that's why I don't think they're going to go to the finals. I think Harden needs to be Harden and Embiid needs to be Embiid for them to make a run. I think the bracket favors them. I think getting Miami in round 2 is like the best case scenario. I wouldn't be surprised if they feel that way too and they kind of tanked a little bit to get that spot, if you will. I don't think anybody's scared to play the Heat. I think the harder series would be the Sixers getting past the Raptors than it would be Sixers getting past Heat because of the matchup. Yo, Zager, appreciate the sub, bro. Thank you. But yeah, man, I'm about to take it down, man. That's a solid. Well, we've been live for about hour 50. 757 CJ fan, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we've been live for like an hour and 45 minutes, man. I'm about to take it down because I got to go hit the gym. I got basketball practice tonight, man. You know, I love this, man. I'm coaching the AAU team, 9th grade. So we got practice 8 to 9:30. I got to get over there and do the thing. But, man, let's clap it up, man. Clap it up for yourselves. Clap it up for yourselves, man. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the love, all the feedback I've been getting. It's been like 35 days, and we are over 1,000 subscribers, channel monetized, and you guys have been showing me mad love, talking about how much you guys like the videos. I'm going to keep trying my best to make content you guys like. But really, man, again, I'm going to clap it up for you guys, man, because it's you guys who are doing the liking. It's you guys who are doing the subscribing. Hopefully, it's you guys who are sharing the channel with your family and your friends. And I'm appreciative of all you guys, man. Even the people that say I'm being disrespectful, I appreciate y'all too. Even the ones that be coming for my neck, I appreciate y'all too. Because it's all fun, man. Listen, anything I say, anything in the comments, I know it's kind of hard to read tone and stuff. You just know it's all love. It's all love. Even if I'm calling you crazy and I disagree, it's all love. It ain't really that serious, man. It's just sports. It's just basketball. It's just opinions. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing to be that mad about. But, yeah, man, thank you guys. I want to definitely go live after Sixer games. And we could talk about more than just the Sixers on those live streams, but I definitely want to go live after the Sixers games and talk about those games. I'm going to do my best to do breakdowns of playoff games. I can't do every single playoff game, but, you know, like I might put up polls. Maybe that's what I'll do. Every night I'll put up a poll and see which, shout out to Rick. Yo, Rick, I know I've seen you in the chat a lot. I've been trying to read what you guys are saying, what you've been saying, but it was hard to kind of read. You kind of came in when I was doing my predictions, so it was hard to read chat while doing the predictions. But shout out to Rick, man. I appreciate you for stopping in. But yeah, maybe I'll put a poll up like every day of the playoffs and be like, which game do you want me to break down? And then I'll do that game. That might be a good way for me to do it. That way, I obviously I want to do the Sixers ones, but like maybe everybody wants me to break down the Nuggets and the Warriors. More people want to see that than the Sixers game, so I'll do that. So I'll put up a poll maybe every day of the playoffs, do whatever game you guys say. And yeah, and I'll continue to go live like once a week or so, definitely after the Sixers games and, you know, other times as well. So keep it locked here, man. Make sure you guys turn on that bell so you know when I'm going live. You know when I'm dropping content. I pinned it at the top of the chat. Follow me on Twitter, man. That's like the only, I have an Instagram for this, but I don't really use it. But Twitter, I love Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. It's free comedy. So follow me on Twitter. The link is right up in the chat. It's the pinned message. Go ahead and click that link and follow me. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on the next live, man. Thank you guys for showing out. Thank you guys for chilling with me. I had a great time. Hopefully you had a great time too. Clap it up for yourselves one more time. And I will see you on the next one. Peace. And as always, much love to you. I'm out.